This sermon title is called God Meeting Us Where We Are. Throughout history, we've heard of God revealing himself to ordinary people and meeting them where they are in their lives. There's countless instances in the Bible and lots of instances of this happening in between then and now. And God still does this. The fact that God still does this is so awe-inspiring, isn't it? The creator of the universe, the creator of all the things in our reality, wants a relationship with us. When I think about the times that God has made himself known in my life, one story in particular comes to mind. To start off, I'd always known about God. I grew up as a very active member of the Presbyterian Church. In many ways, my congregation lived up to the nickname of the Frozen Chosen. I prayed to God a lot, but never really expected him to answer. I am neurodivergent. I was diagnosed with ADD when I was 7. But the more self-aware I get in adulthood, the more I think I have autism. As a result of those things, I find it very difficult to make friends. That has caused a lot of trauma just in and of itself. To set the scene of the story that I want to talk about today, Adam and I moved up to Pennsylvania from North Carolina, where I was born and raised, in 2015. He had just finished his PhD, and we decided to move in with his parents while he looked for work. To start the process of making friends, because I didn't really know anybody, we started hanging out with the local Native American group. And because Adam went to high school with one of the chiefs, and he still was friends with her. Shortly after moving up to Pennsylvania, we discovered that something wasn't quite right with my kidneys. We went through all of the diagnostic stuff, including a renal biopsy. Eventually, we found out that I had stage 4 chronic kidney disease. And at the end of all of this, I was bitter and depressed and pretty disillusioned. I was put on kidney medication, and Adam and I spent a good 6 months figuring out non-medication support therapies for me to do, in addition to what the doctor suggested. One of those things happened to be being in a sauna. An Eastern woodland-style sweat lodge is very much like a sauna. It is very dark and hot, and the only difference, really, is that people pray in sweat lodges. They sing and they pray, and they're together. As it so happened, there was a sweat lodge ceremony scheduled for July 4th weekend with our native friends. So I decided to try it out. So I get into the sweat lodge. It's super dark in there. Like, I can't even see my hand in front of my face. And very hot when they bring the hot rocks in. The first prayer song starts, and I get the sensation of being hugged from behind, even though there wasn't anyone physically behind me. And I hear this still, small whisper that immediately instills calm in my soul. My child, of course you don't belong in anywhere. I've already told you that this would be the case. You belong to me. I haven't sent you to Earth to be alone. You belong to me, and I will always be there, no matter what. Now, let go of your bitterness and sadness. I have bigger and better plans for you. This was the first time that I was able to hear God's voice directly. And he told me exactly what I needed to hear. In Romans 8, we learn that nothing can get in the way of God's love for us. He's seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and the stuff that you hide from the rest of the world for fear that they will hate you. And the amazing, awesome thing is that he loves you anyway. He's always there to uplift, lovingly correct, and guide us in his plans for creation. So what does that look like in practical terms? Number 1, listening to that still, small, calming voice instead of the urgent, fear-filled voice that pervades society. Number 2, trusting God to equip you to do whatever he asks of you. He wouldn't ask you to do stuff if he didn't think you could do it. Number 3, in general, trying to do the most loving thing for the people around you, without expectations of reciprocity. Part of God's MO is that he uses people and situations, sometimes good, sometimes not, to meet us where we are and deepen our relationship with him. So why would he do that? Number 1, because he loves us. And number 2, because he wants to prompt us to grow as humans and as people of faith. And number 3, once we've encountered God, we cannot stay in the old habits that don't serve the highest good. Now, my question for you. When have you felt God's presence in the chaos of the last year? And has it changed you?